Hey guys, it's me Kayla. Welcome back to another one of my videos. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my experience of getting accepted into FIT, everything from the application process to maybe a decision. I'm still unsure about it, but I want to share with you guys everything and anything I can during this application time. In this video, I talk about my background and why I applied to FIT, along with the application process, getting accepted, my plans and feelings moving forward, with some general tips along the way. I know I did so much research and digging on YouTube about FIT and applying for the AMC major. So if you guys are interested in applying to FIT and are interested in the AMC major, please continue watching this video just to give you guys a sense of relatability and that it's going to be okay. So I hope you guys enjoy. I'll leave timestamps down below of all this different things I talk about and when and where it happens. So just look down in the description box for that. So let's talk about my background, who I am, my high school experience, and why I chose FIT. FIT for me was a school that I really didn't know much about when it first came down to, okay, what colleges are you applying to? It was definitely not one I knew prior to going into my college experience, and it wasn't something that I was like so in love with. I didn't know the school, I didn't know what it stood for. I think where I really fell in love with the school is I was getting recommended to check out the school. So I did research, I liked it, and I booked a visit, and I went and I visited the campus, and that day really defined if I wanted to apply or not, and I 100% did. I loved the video they showed. It really explained FIT well, and most of all, it explained their students, and I felt a sense of community. I felt this kind of edge being in the city, so right off the bat, I knew I liked the school, so I decided to apply. I've always been torn between film and business, and reason being is because I've always loved film. I obviously do YouTube as a hobby. I do it as a practice in the sense of I want to get better at doing this, so I do it as a practice. I have always loved film. I am in a technical school for TV, video, and film production, and when I enrolled in my technical school my junior year of high school, it really placed an emphasis on, okay, I'm going to do this as a living, and it's not just a hobby. I'm going to school for it now because it's going to mean something to me when I get older. So that's exactly what I did. I love BOCES, I love my technical school, and I love getting my homeschool education too. I'll do a whole video about that too because I love talking about it. I wanted to carry my experience at my technical school, being surrounded by individuals who were like-minded and who were motivated. I wanted that in my college. So the visit showed me that, and I highly recommend you guys book a visit. All this information will be down below if you guys need to check it out. It's all there for you guys. I know it's hard to find the resources, so I'll just give them to you. So after making that decision, I wanted to go into more a business major because I wanted to broaden my horizons and I was kind of scared of that stereotype of being a film major and not getting a job after you graduate. And I didn't really love the technical side of film. I liked the more business and like creative part. So the AMC major, the advertising and marketing communications major, just seemed right. After doing my research, I switched my intended major midway through the application process. So I emailed my admissions counselor and she switched it for me right away. Of course, I wanted to go to school in New York City. Like they say, the city is your campus, and it is your campus. I've heard it from many people, and for that I was just so motivated. Out of my whole list of schools, half of them were in the city, so that says a lot about my motivation to go to school in the city. Obviously, it was something that I was looking for in a college. Okay, the application process. This is probably why you're here, because you guys want to hear about the essay. If you watched any video prior to mine about FIT, everyone places huge emphasis on the essay. And reason being is because FIT only looks at two things. They look at your essay and they look at your transcript and your grades. So those two things are very important. If your grades are poor, you need to make sure that you're bringing reasoning as to why in your essay. You're also sharing your personal personal experience, and so on and so forth. The application process is split into 2 different steps. Because FIT is a SUNY school and part of the state college system, you need to file a SUNY application first. After doing that, you'll receive an email explaining something called your My FIT account, which is where you're going to track your application status, and it's really important to have that account information on hand. And step 2 of the application process is submitting those separate pieces of the application that consists of your admissions essay and your school transcripts. But I'm just going to go into depth about the whole essay and transcript part of it. So my admissions essay that I submitted was not my Common App essay. So the Common App essay is that 650-word essay that everyone writes in hopes of submitting it to any college to explain your story, your interests. That essay I liked. I wrote it, it was great, and I submitted it to the majority of my colleges. But at the time, I was also thinking of applying to NYU. So I had this core idea for my NYU application, and I took that and I brought it into my FIT essay. The FIT essay is no more than 750 words. You have that extra space to write what you didn't in your Common App essay. So I recommend writing a completely separate essay for FIT, and you need to tailor it to the school. You need to do information about the college. I would highly recommend doing it. I'm only sharing with you guys my personal experience, my essay, my tips of what I did to get in. So that's all I can really tell you guys, but I definitely made sure I was really creative in my writing because I write very creatively. That's one thing that definitely shined through in my application. If you guys are interested, this is the prompt that FIT gives you for your admissions essay. What makes you a perfect candidate for FIT? Why are you interested in the major you are applying to? And then it says, the essay is your chance to tell us more about your experiences, activities, and accomplishments. You could see here that the essay, this is what they're asking you from the essay. It's very broad, but it's also pretty specific, which is great. I feel like the prompt was a perfect in between of being specific with what they want, but being also pretty broad, so you didn't feel like confined like when you're writing. So just talk about your personal experience and talk about it with love, talk about it with passion. Make sure you're really expressing that in your essay. Hi guys, it's future Kayla editing right now. I'm right there. But there was something that I didn't point out that I really should have, and it was something that happened during my application process when I was submitting my essay. So after doing everything up to the point of the essay, I finished it and I submitted it. I think within a week after, I received an email from my admissions counselor from FIT, basically asking if I could talk more about my major because she was mistaken and thought that I was applying for the digital film and media because I talked so much about my experience going to BOCES and like doing film. So she assumed that it was a mistake in my application, but I told her that it wasn't and that I would explain further why I think the major is right for me. Basically, I didn't answer one of the questions on the application. In the essay question that they give you, I thought it was like such a bad sign to get that. But looking back at it now from being accepted, it 100% was like, hey, we like you. Like, tell us why you want this. And I was so lucky. I was just talking about it with somebody on Twitter. I was so lucky that I got that email. And I had never heard anyone have that experience either. So just putting this out there for you guys, like if you get an email from an admissions counselor from FIT, like they're looking at your application. So just like beware that like they're looking. So anyway, I just wanted to put that in there because that's really important. Yeah, it was just a big part of my story that I don't know how I forgot when I was doing it, but okay. My school transcript's pretty simple. On the website, they tell you the address where you need to send it to. It's all sent through mail. Nothing is done digitally, so make sure you're doing that. After you file that SUNY application, you'll receive an email to submit your essay, and that is submitted through a Google form sheet. They get all the essays, and that's how you do it. It's a very simple process for the essay, and you need to have experience. I am fortunate that I did, so I was able to apply to the school with some sort of confidence, but they look for experience. You need to have it, and if you don't, I would get out there right now and start doing things to just put on your resume, even if it's like 3 things. Make it count, start doing things. So getting accepted, this is something that I didn't think was gonna happen. Like I said, I did a lot of research about other people's experiences, getting accepted, getting waitlisted, and getting declined on YouTube. From the information I received from people's videos and comparing myself to them, a lot of the people who got waitlisted, I found to have similar traits as me. I was really, really excited when I got accepted. I'm so excited. Normally, they send it through the mail, so keep in mind that there is not an emailed link to you that says status update, like application status update. I know a lot of colleges do that. FIT doesn't. They send you a package in the mail, but because of COVID-19 being a pandemic right now, they were unable to get those out to us. So what they did was they just sent an email. So I didn't even think I was going to hear back from them this early. I got my application back the 24th of March. Normally you hear back like April 1st and like the first week of April, but I heard real early, which I'm so blessed I did, because you apply like early in like November, December, and then you hear back April 1st to make a decision by May 1st. So it's a very short time, but it makes sense. They just want to know that you're dedicated. You know, it's just playing the game of like being dedicated and motivated to go to the school. Now that I got accepted, I'm so excited. Like I'm probably just gonna like be like, yes, I want to go. This is the packet that I would have been sent, but I had to print it out in paper because I got it emailed as a PDF to me. Yeah, it just says you're invited 2020. It just says you're invited FIT 2020. And then it just gives you a little checklist in the back. It tells you to save your seat, to post a selfie, everything about dorming and admitted students page, all this different stuff. So just on a personal note, I want to say that I'm excited. I think I'm going to go. Right now, my options, if I wanted to, I can go to Savannah, Georgia. I can go to Pace in NYC, or I can go to FIT. And out of all of them, FIT seems to be it for me. Definitely feel like I want to commit the first 2 years to FIT. And if anything else changes, it will, and it will all happen for the right reasons. But I hope this video gave you guys some good information just on the application process, what it's like, and just kind of a personal story of like, this was my experience, this was my whole thing. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe. I love you all. Remember, good vibes equals good souls, and I'll see you all in another one of my videos. Bye.